With more on how the nation gathers intel on these type of threats, we're bringing in, as we speak, Professor Jaime Jackson with the Department of Political Science at Sacramento State University. Professor, always good to have you here. I know we've chatted before. Let me ask you this. We talked about this a little bit off. We initially really laid it on Iran, Israel and the United States, blew out much of what they had militarily. They are really, I don't know how to describe this, but they're not laying down with a straight. Are you surprised by this?
No, honestly, Walt, I'm not. I think, as I noted last time we talked, it would be very foolish for us to underestimate Iran. While they are extremely vulnerable domestically, as we saw with the protests from their own population pushing back on the regime, and the way the regime has governed or not governed over the last few decades, we should not have mistaken that domestic vulnerability for a lack of military ability.
Can you see a private meeting right now with the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and a couple other people where they're like, okay, maybe we severely or underestimated them, and or what have we gotten ourselves into?
If they're not asking themselves that questions, then we're in for a lot of trouble, honestly. I think they should be asking, you know, where do we go from here, right? This has cost the United States significantly and Israel significantly. It has cost the region significantly, given the response from Iran targeting other countries that they see as aligned with us. You know, Lebanon has been laid siege to as well.
Yeah.
So if they're not asking themselves that question, then we're in for a lot of trouble.
You spent some time in Lebanon doing some field work there. In terms of the drone thing, which really was a big story in the last day or so, how feasible is it that there could be a vessel off the coast of, name your city in California, that could fire drones at us? If they were to do that, we'd find them pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the nature of that warning and how it was sort of, let's say, leaked in terms of the way the information was presented, I think mischaracterized in a lot of ways, given what we've heard now from experts who've worked with the FBI and the CIA, in some ways might have mischaracterized the imminence of that threat. It was very much more a nature of preparedness and considering what the threats are given the escalation with Iran. We do know and have seen that Iran does have a very robust drone program, and they've used that drone program on their attacks in neighboring countries in the region. But to actually deploy those kinds of drones on the west coast of the United States would require ships getting much closer than our military would ever allow to take place. So I think
it might more happen from within the country with some cells or whatever, where people who are already here.
If it were to happen, that would be a more present danger than it coming directly from Iran.
Okay, so what type of a response, and we heard from the governor yesterday, Cal OES, we're aware of the situation. The FBI says they reached out to local police. Any local police we talked to didn't know about that. So there could be a slight breakdown in all that. How vulnerable could we be? And are you seeing enough preparation in response to what came out yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, I think just based on what I've seen in terms of the response from Governor Newsom, I think that it's not as if this threat is not being taken seriously, even if it isn't as imminent as maybe initial reports might have suggested. I think it is being taken extremely seriously. I would guess that a lot of that preparedness is not going to be made very public. A lot of times when these security apparatuses are mobilizing to prepare for a potential threat, it's important for national security that they keep some of that kind of under wraps.
Absolutely. Professor Jaime Jackson, Sac State, appreciate your expertise in this. Spent some time over there.
Thank you.